In my previous sharing on this subject, I noted that the Enlightenment Intensive is always a valuable growth experience. Why? Because of the power and the value of contemplation combined with communication. Initially, not everyone recognizes this because they're distracted. They're distracted by the mental and emotional disturbances that arise in their consciousness in respect to who they are. Some people can't wait to leave and get back to their ordinary way of life, the way of life that they have become habituated and accustomed to. Now, I'm the first one to admit from my own experience that holding one's attention one-pointedly on the self is not an easy thing to do, hour after hour, day after day, especially with a mind that's scattered, confused, noisy, fearful, and intolerant. It's difficult. Though it's difficult, though it's not easy, it is worth the effort. In principle, if not in practice, I think that most of you would agree with me. I ask this hypothetical question. Why do we hide from the truth? Why do we hide from who we are? What is there to fear? I propose that the resistance is fear. As the saying goes, let go and let God. The crux of the problem is that you want to stay in control. Western psychology calls that control mechanism the ego. Christian theology would call it the devil. I call it ignorance. It's this ignorance that sets the stage for a battle or a conflict between surrendering and opening and accepting what is and the resistance or the opposition to what is. And of course, what is the way you find yourself in any given moment. At the Enlightenment Intensive, your partner says to you, "Tell me who you are." If you surrender to that instruction, if you surrender to that command, and you hold no resistance, you'd follow that instruction. You would just do it. And thus you would demonstrate or present the truth of who you are, your actual self. But many times, after a day or two of contemplation, I've heard a participant say, I've heard this particular phrase. It's often spoken as a joke, and it gets a laugh. They'd say, "I'm me. Now, can I go home?" Well, that phrase is delivered with some degree of humor, but it sits on a bed of fear. It has the effect of trying to diffuse the intensity of the moment. "I'm me. Now can I go home?" Well, that holds an element of truth, but only if it's spoken from the truth and nothing but the truth. But the joke, quote, the joke, reveals the fiction of the statement. In fact, if it was the truth that you spoke, you would also recognize that there is no place to go home to. You are the truth, and you're home. It's here, it's now. Home is where you are. It's only the ego or the resistance to the self, only the resistance that says, "Now can I go home?" As if there's some other place to go, some other here and now. In other words, the truth is only in the present moment. And when you live and speak and present and demonstrate the truth from the truth of who you already are home. It's only the ego that views a separation. It's just the ignorance of the mind. Only the ignorance of the mind. Well, I trust this has been helpful on your journey of enlightenment. Continue contemplating and enjoying the moment. Tell me who you are.